Hello, my lovelies. Captain TigerLily here, and today we're back with another one of my book suggestion vlogs for the Reading Corner. So, I did say last week that one of them was going to be not very family friendly, and there's a reason for that. One of them is very much family friendly, and I'm actually going to do that one first, and that is the Star Wars Old Republic Legends. This is Revan, I think, Revan or Revan that you say it. And I finished reading this. I'm actually rereading it again. I'm on chapter, where am I? 11 right now. But yeah, I read through this in about 2 days, 2.5 days, I think, the first time I read through. It's taking me a little longer because I'm trying to prep for the cruise in a week and a half now. Yeah, I think a week and a half. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time to read, which really sucks. But hopefully I will be able to read a little bit on the beach when I'm in the Caribbean. So fingers crossed. So without further ado, I shall read the back and see if you guys want to read this Star Wars story. So, hero, traitor, conqueror, villain, savior. The man called Revan has been all these. He left Coruscant a Jedi, on a mission to defeat the Mandalorians. His return a Sith disciple, bent on destroying the Republic. The Jedi Council gave Revan his life back. But the price of redemption was the loss of his memories. All that's left are nightmares, and a deep, abiding fear. What happened beyond the Outer Rim that Revan can't quite remember, or entirely forgot. One thing he's certain of, something dark is plotting to destroy the very existence of the Republic. With no idea how to identify the threat, let alone stop it, Revan may be doomed to fail. For he's never faced a more powerful or diabolical enemy, but only death can stop him from trying. I loved reading this book the first time through because it's kind of like reading a story from Darth Vader's point of view, like as he's turning. So it shows you that other side of using the Force, which I love, that whole idea in the whole universe of Star Wars, that yes, there are the Sith, but that doesn't inherently make them evil because they're Sith. It's the way you use the Force. And I feel like this book delves into that a lot better than the movies do, because the movies up until the more recent ones, the movies were very strictly Jedi Sith. There is no gray area. But I like that they're showing the whole hero versus villain internal conflict with Revan, and I feel like it's a really, really good way to understand the way that the, dark side of the Force works. So, again, this is Revan, and the author is, how do you say that? Drew Karpyshyn, I think is how you say his last name. But I really love the way that this story is written. So I will leave a link down below in the description for you guys to go check this out for yourselves. I would highly suggest it, especially if you love the Star Wars books or the Star Wars movies, because this definitely delves into the world of Star Wars in a way that the movies don't really do. So definitely highly suggest this one. So this one it's a bit older, quite a bit older. But this is one of the most well-written series of books that I have read in my adult years, because this is not a read for kids. So if you are under the age of 18, click away now, because this book is not for you, okay? And if that's the case, go check out Star Wars, because that's a little more family friendly. This book is not, okay? We good? Okay. The reason being, the book today is A Game of Thrones. Yes, I know. So cheesy, so overdone, so cliche. Don't care. It's a good book. Now, the TV show, A Game of Thrones, does quite a few things differently than the books, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just not the books. And The TV show doesn't delve into as much depth with some of the characters that are secondary characters in the show as much as George R.R. Martin does in the books. One of the things that I really, really liked about it was that despite the fact that it's very easy to switch back and forth between character points of view in a TV show, it's very difficult to do that in a book and still be able to keep the reader's attention. But George R.R. Martin very easily does that in the Song of Ice and Fire series, because that is what the actual series is called for the books. It's not called a Game of Thrones series, it's called A Song of Ice and Fire. So, I will read the back, and I'm going to cut out the bit at the top that just talks about George R.R. Martin and his series of novels, but I'm going to read what this particular book is about, okay? So, long ago, in a time forgotten, a preternatural event threw the seasons out of balance. In a land where summers can last decades and winters a lifetime, trouble is brewing. The cold is returning, and in the frozen wastes to the north of Winterfell, sinister and supernatural forces are massing beyond the kingdom's protective wall. At the center of the conflict lie the Starks of Winterfell, a family as harsh and unyielding as the land they were born to, sweeping from a land of brutal cold to a distant summertime kingdom of Epicurean, plenty. Here is a tale of lords and ladies, soldiers and sorcerers, assassins and bastards, who come together in a time of grim omens. Here, an enigmatic band of warriors bears swords of no man-made metal. A tribe of fierce wildlings carry men off into madness. A cruel young dragon prince barters his sister to win back his throne. And a determined woman undertakes the most treacherous of journeys. Amid plots and counterplots, strategies and betrayals, victory and terror, the fate of the Starks, their allies, and their enemies hangs perilously in the balance, as each endeavors to win that deadliest of conflicts, the Game of Thrones. Now, I have been a fan of Game of Thrones since about when season 2 was just ending, because before that I was just at the edge of sort of like exploring the, not quite safe for work type TV show book genre, I guess, which wasn't really my thing growing up. I didn't really like any of that stuff. I didn't really watch horror movies growing up. I didn't play any games like that. I didn't really read anything like that. So as I got older, I was exploring things more that I enjoyed. And I found not only my love of horror movies and horror novels, but I found a love for very descriptive and seemingly accurate portrayals of historical events, or in this case, not quite so real historical events. And I love the way that the books are written to the point where you feel like this world is real. You feel like this is the history of Earth. It isn't the history of Earth, but it feels like it could be. The way that things are described, the way that you feel like you're immersed in this world, reading the books, at least for me, it's unlike any other series I've ever read. And this is coming from the girl who fell in love with Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings at a very young age. And when I say very young, I mean like really, really young. My reading level was way higher than it should have been for like a 3rd and 4th grader. So, because I read, I read up to like the 4th or 5th book in the Harry Potter series by like 4th grade. 4th or 5th grade, I had read like so far past where my reading level said I was. So I didn't care because I was enjoying what I was reading. But this series it's one hell of a journey. I will tell you that. It is such a big endeavor to get into because this is the smallest, I think, of the series. And I'm pretty sure... I'm trying to find the last page. Because this particular one has a has a chapter from the next book at the end of it. So, okay. It is 674 pages. Just book 1. I'm not even going to tell you what book 5 is because it's well over 800, I think. It's insane. But the fact that such an in-depth world is built just in one book is beyond me. Like, me trying to be a writer myself, I can only wish that I have the skill level that George R.R. Martin or Tolkien or C.S. Lewis or any of those authors that I loved reading as a kid and grew up with new stories along the way. Like, I can only hope to be even a hint as good of a writer as they are. So, I will leave a link for you guys to go get if you've never read a Game of Thrones and you love the TV show, and even if you haven't read the books and you don't watch the TV show, but you love medieval style fantasy, check out a Game of Thrones. It's well worth the read. You will not be disappointed, I promise. So, if you guys have read either of the books today, either Revan or A Game of Thrones, let me know down in the comments section, and let me know what you thought of the books, because I would love to hear from you guys. And if you guys do read the books, let me know what you think of them after you read them, and also leave your book suggestions for me to read down in the comment section, okay? So, if you guys liked the video, hit the like button down below, and subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see next week's book suggestion videos for the Reading Corner. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys get notified when my new videos go live. So, for your guys' convenience, I will leave the full playlist for the Reading Corner book suggestions up here, and I will leave the subscribe button right here for you guys to click on to subscribe to my channel. So, that being said, this is Captain TigerLily, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, my lovelies!